Greetings. It's a great day at Imagine Hope Community Public Charter School. I'm Sade, the operations manager, and I'm here to assist you in using our enrollment portal. So let's get started by navigating to the online enrollment portal. You can access this if you go to your school's website and go to the Enroll Now section. So once you navigate to the student and parent sign-in, which is at hccs.powerschool.com/public will get you there. If you've already contacted your enrollment specialist, you may already have sign-in information. But for now, let's go to Create Account. Once you go into Create Account, you fill in your first name, last name, email, desired username, password, and you re-enter your password. Make sure they're the same. The password must be 8 characters long, and then you enter your student's information. For the purposes of this, I'm going to use my name, Sade Wade, and my access ID, per our earlier letter out to families, is the first 8 letters or characters of my last name. And if my last name is short, as it is right now, as Wade, then it goes into my first name. As an example, I've also included another name, Stephanie Minor, because Stephanie's first and last name are longer than mine. We used her first, her last name, and then the first 3 letters of her first name to get 8 characters. Additionally, we also used your student's or scholar's birthday. For the purposes of this, I used today's date as my birthday, and I showed you that the access password is 62620. That is important because you need to know that you do not need to add a 0 to this to make it 6 characters. Unlike if your date of birth is in a month where you have 2 digits, you will have 11, 24, 19 to reflect 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 2 digits for the year. Once you have that information, which you probably would know readily, you navigate back to your parent screen. If you're having a hard time logging in, now would be a great time to contact your enrollment specialist at your school. So because I have that, I'm going to enter that in, and I'm going to enter my password. And then I'm going to choose the relationship that I have with Sade. If you're a student, you can pick yourself. However, there are tons of areas in which you can have access, or you can give access to people, as you can see. I am going to be my sister. Then you could enter all of your siblings that you have so that you guys can have a single login, and you don't have to log in each time for each separate child. And then you would press enter to navigate to the system. But we're not going to do that today because we already have access. So we're going to go back. So I've created a test parent account, and I'm going to sign into that test parent account. When you log into your parent account, this is a home screen that you'll see. If you have multiple children, you will have multiple tabs on the top for each child. You'll want to navigate to the form section. And then when you get to the form section, you'll want to navigate to the enrollment screen. This screen is important because this shows you the last date and time that you entered something, and it also lets you know how far you're along in the application process. You'll see that it's submitted, and you'll see the time and date in which it was submitted last. This will be important when talking to your enrollment specialist about the last time and date that you submitted a document on your child's behalf. This helps both of us keep track of your submissions. If you're a returning family, you will see a document called Form A, and that is the student's intent to return. You'll want to go there and select yes or no. I'd love to be a Hope Community member again. In the meantime, let's go to the student demographic form because we're a new family. On this document, you'll have everything on here that has been populated via PowerSchool. For new families, it's what you put on your application, and for returning families, it's what's currently in the system. It's important for you to go through this screen to verify that all of the information on this screen is correct. You can also make changes to any of the screens as well, and that screen changes will help your enrollment specialist know what information they need to change within the student information system. It's very important that all your information is up to date. Now here is where you can add your information for any siblings that you may have at home or other siblings in the school if they haven't been connected to your account. This will also help with a single login so that you don't have to create logins for each of your students that you have here at Hope Community and your students that will be on the way. We're excited to have them and we're excited to have you. Now that we've done that, let's navigate to the home language survey. This screen allows us to capture information about what languages you speak at your household so we can best serve your family and meet the needs of all students at Hope Community Public Charter School. If you make a mistake on any screen, for instance, I might have selected Spanish here, but I really meant to select English. Let's make that change and press Submit. Once you do that, if we navigate back to the form section, you will notice that the date and time that you submitted the document has been updated to reflect the time and date that you just pressed submit. Remember, this is a way for all of us to keep track of what records you're sending to and from the school so that we don't duplicate any work and we help you to the best of our abilities. Now let's navigate to student contacts. This is all of your information, again, that we have on file for you in our student information system called PowerSchool. Please make sure you update this information with any records that you wish to change in our system. For instance, your guardians, your emergency contacts. This section is important because if anyone picks up your child, we will look here to make sure that you have granted them access to do so first. Another important thing to note on this screen is your pickup agreement and your independent release agreement. This is important so we know who can pick up your child. It's also important that we get permission to make sure that your child can walk home or catch public transportation on their own. We want to make sure that your student is safe from the moment they get on campus to the moment they leave and they're safely back in your arms as their parent. So please make sure that you do that. Now let's go to the student health information section. This section is important because this helps us keep track of all of your health records on file. We, just like you, want to make sure that your child is safe and healthy at all times. DC requires all families to fill out the Universal Health Certificate. Now, keep in mind that this document has to be filled out by your doctor and it has to be signed by your doctor. We understand that you may not be able to do that in this time, but please do so as soon as you have the opportunity. After your primary care physician fills out this document, you'll upload it and return it back to us, and we'll keep it on file for you. You have to complete this document every year, in addition to your oral health assessment as well, which is a document required by DC. Same thing here. It has to be signed by your dental provider as well. Just making sure everyone's healthy. And then, of course, you can upload both of those documents on this screen. Once you upload your document, remember it has to be a PDF or a Word document. You may find that you accidentally uploaded the wrong document. No need to fear. You can always delete a document that you loaded from this screen, and we won't have any record of it. Now that we've done that, let's navigate to the next screen, which is an authorization for us to treat your child. And when we say treat your child, it really means that if something happens to your student while they're on our campus, we want to make sure that if we have to go to the hospital, that we're taking them to the hospital that you want us to attend, and that we're going to the doctor. Also, here is where you'll add in your health insurance information so that we're able to provide that information at the hospital in the event that your child needs more assistance. Of course, we'll contact you first, but it's very important for us to have this information so that we can help you and help our students to the best of our abilities. Now that you filled out all the fields to the best of your ability and provided us with all the necessary information we need to ensure that your child is safe at our school and outside of our school, we can navigate to the next screen, which is the permissions and agreements section. This section is very important because this covers field trips, media releases, in the event that we have an event or the news comes to our school to highlight all the awesome things that we're doing at Hope Community Public Charter School. You want to make sure that your child is able to be on camera, and we want to make sure that you guys have permission in advance already for that to happen. Additionally, if your child wants to participate in sports, this is a section where you'll need to fill that out. This screen is important because while it's very exciting to participate in sports and extracurricular activities, we want to make sure that your child is safe to and from any sports that they are participating in. So this gives us permission to transport your child from activities and to activities on behalf of the school. Please read this section carefully and fill it out to the best of your abilities and sign. Remember that without this sign, your child may not be able to participate in sports in the upcoming school year. Even if your child may not want to participate in sports right now, but he may or may not want to do it later, please fill out this document and you can always go back and make changes to it. Now let's navigate to the next section, which is your student address form. This section is important because this helps us track your residency within a district. Particularly, OSSE will be looking at this information as they do every year to ensure that you are a district resident. If the information is wrong in this section, please do your best to correct it. And then let your enrollment specialist know that you've made corrections so that we can make sure that we have the most up-to-date information for you on file. You will be updating both your physical and mailing address because we realize that they may be different. But if they're the same, please use the copy from physical section to make it easier on you. As you are establishing the relationship to your student, you will have to fill out several documents that will help us make sure that you are a resident of the district. This OPC form, also known as Other Primary Caregiver Form, is a document for any other parent or guardian that may not be a legal custodian. It could be a sister or a relative that helps you take care of your child. Let's go to the next section, which is a sworn statement. This section provides details of your OPC status and goes along with the OPC form. Please fill out both if you are looking to use an other primary care provider. This is a sworn statement. This is mainly used for adult students who have students that are minors. For instance, if you are a 16-year-old with a child that's of school age, you and your parent will both have to fill out this document to show residency, essentially that you live at home with your parent. This is important because we realize that you may not have leases or a license or things in your name to prove residency, and this will help you do so. If you are proving residency in other methods, verify with a school official or verify through the Office of Tax and Revenue, being on the OSSI verified list, or you're submitting documentation, you'll find out which documentation you need to submit here. The most common form is a pay stub and a license, or a driver's license and registration. Here is where you'll upload those documents. Also, you'll have a chance to fill out the DC RV form. And this is a DC verification of residency document, which you have to fill out every year for the Office of the State Superintendent of Education, OSSI. You can upload your residency and the DCVRV form here as well. Now, remember that you can only upload Word and PDF and pictures, no Excel documents, as you can see here. So let's try uploading an actual document. Again, remember, you can upload a PDF, a picture, or a Word document here. Also remember that if you have to delete a document that you previously loaded or need to load an additional document, you can always navigate back to this screen and delete any documents if you've loaded in error. If you're satisfied with the documents that you loaded, just review, scroll down to the bottom of the screen, say yes, I consent to the use of electronic signatures, and for an added bonus, please add if you had a teacher who helped you in this enrollment process, because we're having a contest. Now that you're done with this section, let's navigate to the last and final section, which is the acknowledgement forms. This section just acknowledges that everything that you've done so far in the application is true to the best of your knowledge, so that we can proceed with submitting this information at a later time to OSSI for review. So please, again, look over your documentation to make sure that you have everything. If you've missed any forms that you needed to download, please do so in this section. This has a summation of all the documents that were throughout the application. In this section, you also want to consent to the use of electronic signatures and then press submit. After you've submitted all of your documentation, or some of your documentation, feel free to navigate back to the enrollment section under forms to see all of the forms that you've completed so far. As you'll see in this section, when we scroll down, it shows that we submitted Form I. This is important because you need to fill out all forms to be considered fully enrolled. This year, due to COVID, we understand that you may not be able to submit documentation provided by your doctor. Just submit all of your other information so that you can get fully enrolled. We hope to hear from you soon, but until then, it's always a great day at Imagine, and we look forward to having your scholar with us.